deep voice. We love our titles. Champion, Alpha, the baddest man on the planet. We build cages of steel and wire, create rules, and hand out gold belts to the men who can navigate them best. We convince ourselves that we have mastered violence. But nature doesn't have referees. It doesn't have rounds, and it certainly doesn't care about your jiu-jitsu belt. You think you are the predator. No. In the grand calculus of evolution, you are just soft, hairless prey with an ego. Human combat is a sport. It is a ritual. From the sands of the Roman Colosseum to the canvas of the MGM Grand, we have optimized our violence for entertainment and safety. We banned the groin strike. We banned the eye gouge. We wrapped our hands in tape and foam to protect our fragile metacarpals. Now look at the pan-troglodytes, the chimpanzee. They don't fight for sport. They engage in something anthropologists call lethal raiding. They are the only other species besides humans known to commit systematic genocide. When an MMA fighter enters the cage, he is looking for a submission or a knockout. He is looking for a stop. When a chimp patrol enters enemy territory, they are looking for extermination. Let's strip away the skin. Let's look at the machinery. Humans sacrificed strength for dexterity, fine motor skills. We can thread a needle. We can throw a baseball. We can execute a perfect rear naked choke. Our nervous system is wired for precision. But the chimp? The chimp is an evolutionary throwback to pure power. Their muscle fiber composition is dominated by MHC2, fast twitch fibers. They are roughly 1.35 to 1.5 times stronger than a human of the same size, pound for pound. But raw numbers lie, because a chimp doesn't just push or pull. It recruits muscle units simultaneously in a way your human brain physically cannot prevent. The MMA fighter brings technique, years of drilling specific neural pathways to react to a jab, a cross, a takedown. The chimp brings chaos. It brings a skeletal structure designed to hang from trees, meaning its pulling power, the power to rip a limb from a socket, is absolute. We evolved to use tools. They evolved to be the weapon. Here lies the greatest disadvantage for the human: psychology. The fighter is waiting for a bell. He is waiting for a touch of gloves. He is reading body language based on human kinesiology. He expects a feint. The beast across from him sees only meat. There is no honor here. There is no tap-out. The moment the human realizes this, the cortisol floods his brain. The fight or flight response triggers. But against this creature, flight is impossible, and fight is suicide. You think your Brazilian jiu-jitsu works on an animal with 4 hands. You think you can knock out a creature with a skull twice as thick as yours. In this episode, we looked at the mind, but next time, we look at the meat. We will calculate exactly how many newtons of force it takes to rip a human face off the skull, and I promise you, it's less than you think. Subscribe or stay in your safe little cage. You asked the question, can a heavyweight black belt choke out a chimp? Technically, yes. The anatomy is similar. If you cut off the blood supply to a chimp's brain for 8 seconds, it goes to sleep. But practically, let's talk about the physics of failure. First, you have to find the neck. A male chimp doesn't have a neck. It has a block of muscle connecting its skull directly to its shoulders. Second, you are trying to grapple with a creature that has 4 hands. While you are busy squeezing its neck, its feet, which are actually hands with opposable thumbs, are peeling your thigh muscles off the bone. You aren't grappling a man, you are grappling a buzzsaw. Let's analyze the primary weapons. The human weapon, the fist, impact force, blunt trauma. The chimp weapon, the canines, puncture, shearing force. A human bite generates about 160 psi, painful but survivable. A chimp? Estimates vary, but functionally, they hit over 1,300 psi. But numbers are boring.
let's talk about damage mechanics. When a human punches, the goal is kinetic energy transfer. When a chimp bites, the goal is avulsion. They don't just bite down, they bite and pull. Their canines act as anchors, and their neck muscles act as a lever. The result is not a wound, it is an amputation. Fingers, noses, genitals, these are soft targets. A chimp can deglove a human face in under 2 seconds. Just punch it in the face, the keyboard warriors say. Let me introduce you to the supraorbital torus. This bony ridge above the chimp's eyes is essentially a built-in helmet. You break your hand on their face before you break their face. And the knockout? A knockout happens when the head spins fast enough to rattle the brain against the skull wall. To KO a chimp, you need enough torque to overcome the immense stability of their neck muscles. A heavyweight champion punches with about 1,300 joules of energy. Against a human, lights out. Against a chimp, you might stun it, you might annoy it, but all you've really done is trigger the adrenaline spike that ends your life.
But the most terrifying factor isn't the bite. It's the ragdoll physics. Chimps have been observed lifting objects twice their body weight with a single arm. In a no-rules fight, the chimp doesn't need to know judo. It grabs a limb, any limb, and generates violent, erratic acceleration. The human shoulder joint is held together by a shallow socket and soft tissue. It cannot withstand the sheer force of being thrashed like a wet towel. Shoulders dislocate, elbows snap hyperextended. You are broken before you even hit the ground. You think this is theoretical? You think this is just physics on paper? History has receipts. We have 911 calls that sound like audio from the depths of hell. We have police reports that describe injuries usually seen in high-speed car accidents. Next time, we leave the lab. We go to the crime scene. We will dissect the day a domesticated pet turned a suburban driveway into a slaughterhouse. The theory ends. The horror begins. Subscribe. He's killing my friend. Who's killing your friend? My chimpanzee. He ripped her apart. Shoot him. Shoot him. He's eating her. Travis was a celebrity. He appeared in TV commercials. He drank wine from a stem glass. He brushed his own teeth. He was, for all intents and purposes, a member of the family, until the day he wasn't. In 12 minutes, a 200-pound domesticated animal reverted to 4 million years of evolutionary programming. When we talk about MMA, we talk about lacerations, swelling, maybe a broken orbital bone. When first responders arrived at the scene in Stamford, Connecticut, they didn't find a fight. They found an erasure of identity. Charla Nash didn't just lose a brawl. She lost her hands, she lost her nose, she lost her lips, she lost her eyes. Travis didn't strike to stun, he struck to dismantle. It took 4 point-blank shots from a .40 caliber service pistol to stop him, and even then, he didn't drop. He walked back inside his cage and died on his own terms. This was a domesticated animal. Now imagine a wild one. You think this violence is an anomaly, a pet gone wrong? Let's go to Gombe, Tanzania, 1974. Jane Goodall, the woman who loved them, witnessed something that shattered her heart: the 4-year war. The Kasakela community didn't just fight the Kahama community, they hunted them. It was systematic. They isolated individuals, they held them down, they bit throats, they tore off testicles, they drank the blood. They didn't stop until every single male of the opposing group was dead. This wasn't animal instinct, this was politics, this was war. And unlike humans, they never signed a peace treaty. This brings us back to our hypothetical matchup. The MMA fighter protects his chin to avoid the knockout. He protects his liver to avoid the body shot. He is defending the wrong targets. The chimp's targeting system is hardwired for genetic humiliation. The hands, to disable the enemy's ability to use tools. The groin, to end the enemy's lineage. The face, to destroy the enemy's social identity.
You cannot condition your body for this. You cannot build neck muscles strong enough to keep your face attached to your skull. When history clashes with sport, history wins, because history is written in blood, not on scorecards. We have analyzed the biology. We have witnessed the history. Now there is only one thing left to do. We run the simulation. Is there any scenario where the human walks out alive? Does the human brain have a Hail Mary move, or is this simply an execution? Next episode, we lock the door. Subscribe. Scenario: a locked concrete room, 5 by 5 meters, no weapons, no referee, no rules. The sole objective: survival. The champion enters with the belief that technique can conquer strength. The beast enters with the instinct that anything moving is either food or a threat. Seconds 0 to 3, the distance is erased. The human throws a low kick to gauge distance. Mistake. The chimp's bones are denser than human bone, and more importantly, it doesn't process pain the way we do. Its adrenaline is already saturated. Second 5, the crash. This is where technique dies. In MMA, the clinch is for control, but you cannot control a mass of muscle exploding in every direction. The chimp has a lower center of gravity. It uses 2 hands to grip the hips and 2 feet to stomp the thighs. It has 4 points of contact. You only have 2. Second 10, the horror. The first bite connects. Panic floods the fighter's brain. Technique evaporates. Only flailing reflexes remain. The fighter attempts an eye gouge, the only weapon left, but the chimp has reflexes 3 times faster than a human. It catches the wrist. The verdict? Total domination. Can the human win? Yes, if he has a spear, a gun, or even a large rock. That is our superpower. Tools. But strip away the tools, we are just soft, slow, arrogant bags of meat. The chimp doesn't need a black belt. It possesses innate hydraulic strength and brutality unchecked by morality. Why are we obsessed with this matchup? Because deep down, we fear that civilization is just a thin veneer. We build skyscrapers, write laws, and create martial arts to forget one truth, that we used to be them. And in a dark room, when the veneer falls away, we lose to our own ancestors. That is my analysis. Brutal, scientific, and uncompromising. Do you agree? Or do you believe a spinning heel kick could drop the beast? Leave your opinion in the comments. I read them all, even the crazy ones. The real fight is happening down there. If you want to see more insane matchups, like Navy SEAL versus Viking or Samurai versus Knight, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Don't miss a single video. Thank you for watching until the very end. You are the reason Julian's Arsenal exists. Until next time, stay sharp, stay dangerous.